If you are a sheriff or sheriff deputy, scroll on. This post is not for you. Save yourself the roasting because you're just gonna cry about it. You know, I worked at a factory for 10 years and then it closed. I was exploring job options. And I debated getting the $500 permit to become a bounty hunter. My ex-wife worked for the police department back then, so I approached the sheriff directly. He said all bounty hunters would be escorted out of the county. After a lot of research, the sheriff's department and a local insurance company that's the bondsman have a monopoly. Now, how does this apply to this expose on the sheriff's department? Buckle up. So the sheriff, an elected position that any moron chucklefuck can run for without any law enforcement background, requires his subordinates to have those qualifications. There are many revenue streams, but we'll get back to that. Often those who want to become law enforcement can't make the cut. They often become jailers or volunteer police officers. You'll see many of them working at parades and things. But I know locally where I live, they almost all exclusively serve warrants. So they're making that big bounty money with zero labor expense. Not even health insurance if something goes awry. Nothing has ever gone wrong when serving a warrant, ever. No. Then there's the jailers. In a county jail, they'll have several full-time employees, usually 1 to 3 per shift. All the rest are part-time. No benefits, no nothing. So when you see a sheriff's uniform, realize they may not be making that fat police officer bank. They may be on food stamps just like you. So yes, it is a wonder that it only took $1,000 for probably a part-time employee they're going to throw under the bus to take that bribe. It's a flaw in the system. Why I wanted to make this post. I have a lot of friends that are sheriff's deputies and police officers. I train with a lot of police deputies and jailers, and I've helped train them at no expense to get them ready for that one PT test that's required to be a police officer. Back to the sheriff. So I've established that my ex-wife works at a jail, and I'm not going to hold this back anymore. As a restoration mason, I've actually worked on our jail. Got to speak with the engineers and everything. Jails are designed to have 0 blind spots. There are a few though. State grants and taxpayer money help maintain the jail. I can tell you there's corners cut everywhere. For nutrition for the inmates, to the not have to paying health care for part-time jailers. And yet this elected official gets to pocket the difference. It's an old law that needs to be abolished. Conversely, where I live, the successor to the sheriff is groomed. Yeah, it's elected. But is it? Luckily, where I live, the sheriff is a pretty stand-up guy. I've helped train him too. And like the part-time jailers, I worry. How strong is that content of character when there's temptation everywhere?